One take. This is NBA One Take, featuring yours truly. This is NBA One Take for your head, NBA One Take for your brain. Coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. It's still the NBA season preview. As you know, I am Pretty Boy Laker. So the team that I have to talk about, the irony is my Los Angeles Lakers, the greatest sports franchise of all time. Yes, they are. Yeah, Yankees, it's up for debate. But Yankees, Lakers, I don't know. I'm a Lakers guy, but I love the Yankees as well. But getting off that subject, which I can debate on the later platform. This is NBA season preview. And the first thing I have to talk about, finally, like how The Rock says, finally, Anthony Davis has come to the Los Angeles Lakers. After months and months and months of speculations and him going to Boston and him going to the Knicks, and he was also coming to the Lakers, and an initial trade request by Rich Paul, which he later got fined for, and people couldn't have picture laid, all kinds of crap. It was non-stop content on Anthony Davis. But he got traded here, and for Lonzo, some picks, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart. I enjoy having the fact that Anthony Davis is in LA because I think he needs to play in a bigger market. He needs it. You know, despite the fact he has no endorsement deals, he didn't have really a lot of big time endorsement deals. And you could blame his agent, but you also could blame where he's playing at. As well as this man don't got his own signature shoe. I've never, a talent like that. And I understand, yeah, you know, postseason, everything like that. I understand. It's tough, you know, what he had to deal with in New Orleans. But I think now he's gonna have all his opportunities and the winning, consistent winning aspect of a franchise that for the most part will put winning over everything and will spend and acquire as much as they can to put a winning team around. And he couldn't say that with Dell Demps, who just say tried but was operating without impunity. So when doing that, he could do whatever he wants until he finally lost his job. LeBron James. You gotta talk about the Lakers, you gotta talk about LeBron James. LeBron James and the Lakers did not go to the playoffs last season. After hurting himself on Christmas Day with the quad, and he missed some games, and then finished with 18-19 record to finish the season. But the team just fully never really connected after they beat Golden State on Christmas Day when their record was 19-14, fifth best in the West at that time. Does LeBron have a lot to prove? No. I don't think LeBron James has to prove himself anymore. I think other people want to say that. They want to drive that narrative to create, necessary content. But he don't have to. All he has to do is be LeBron James. Lead, and do the best he can to try to win. And I think that's what he wants to do. He's brought here to win in LA, to win a championship. That's what he came here for. With all the other side things, of course, that comes with it. But I'm telling you, people got to understand. Oh, if Magic Johnson didn't bring him in, you think LeBron would have signed? No, he probably took another year in Cleveland, and he would have waited for possibly a better situation to come along. But it's like, what else? What else do you want from the man? And he also losing out on Kawhi Leonard. The Kawhi was gangster. He's gangster. Kawhi Leonard held the Lakers hostage. Told him he was thinking about coming here. He wanted to have a meeting with Magic and all this other stuff. He was weighing his options. But then he went to the Clippers and did what he did. Acquired Paul George. He was never coming to the Lakers. Now with Anthony Davis and LeBron James here, he didn't want to do that. So the Lakers should have known, but there was very giddy. And you should have never done that. You should have never listen, I know for a fact there was players on there, there was several players they wanted to sign. I know for a fact there were 2 players they wanted to sign to give them 3 to 4 year deals, and they were very viable candidates to help this team because they wasn't thinking about 2020 free agency, but it looks like they are, and this is for the reason for them to get Danny Green and Rondo, Avery Bradley, and sign Caldwell Pope, Quinn Cook, and Jared Dudley. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, with that kind of roster, those are some good veterans to have, but the two all-star players that I needed in free agency with the likes of some of those guys would have definitely put the Lakers in a different position where people would not question the roster as much as they did with the other guys I just mentioned they signed. And one guy I didn't mention is Boogie Cousins. He's not going to play this season. He tore his ACL. And the big man, to what I've heard and what I've saw, was not saying looking like himself, but he could have been somewhat of an 18-9 nightly contributor for the team. That would have been big. Because it looks like the Lakers was going to go big and just use height and length to just overcome everything. But then they need a replacement. And there was some other guys on the market. Mainly Joakim Noah, Mo Spates, But they went and got Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard was on the Lakers years ago when it was a trade involving Andrew Bynum. To Philly and Orlando. I was excited at the trade at the time because I felt, yeah, we got the best big man in the game. We had the right coach at the time because I felt that if Mike Brown was coaching that team, they'd have done way better. And Kobe, for the most part, would have never tore his Achilles, playing possibly the most minutes of his career at the age of 35. And Mike D'Antoni's run and gun offense. Or they could have just got Phil Jackson, but that's something I don't want to even speak on because you know how that much angers me because I got to think about the remnants of Jim Buss. So Dwight is there back, comes back 7 years. Is he that same player? No, he's not. Age and attrition, injuries, but he's in the best shape of his career, and I'm happy to see that at some of the workouts. He looks a little quicker and moves better laterally. A lot of the defensive workouts he's been doing, which is good. He's not asking for much. They're just asking for him to rim protect, rebound, play some defense. And that's all they need. They don't need too much from him. They have the shooting. They just need him to play that role. And I think he's going to be very comfortable with that because he's done so much in his league. He's just looking for the ring, like many others. Okay, they hired Frank Vogel as a head coach after firing Lou Walton. Now, it was looking at coaches, but they just went with Frank Vogel. That's Rob Pelinka. We don't know his title, but he was the GM, but we don't know. We just know that he's running things in Lakerland now. Then they bring in Jason Kidd as associate head coach. Well, associate head coach. More like a lead assistant, but it's a different kind of title. Then you bring in Mike Woodson. It's the same title, but one below. And now people's thinking, well, okay, all right. What is the Lakers doing? They're doing some stuff. What is the Lakers trying to do? They put a target on Vogel's back and letting them know that, all right, yeah, you're going to be here, but we really want Jason Kidd as the coach. It can be seen that way very clearly, but we don't know. And I think it's safe to be seen that if Frank Vogel doesn't succeed and a change will be made at coach, Jason Kidd will be that guy who's his relationship with LeBron James and a few other players. You know, the situation with Magic Johnson is just very crazy. You know, him leaving and what that really did to like the locker room last season. Now he's back, but he's not there as an employee. He's not there even as an advisor, but he's around. And we have to see. We have to see what Magic being around is, what's his real detriment towards the rest of the franchise and the rest of the players. We don't know. What is that saying? And the organization as well. Because he's around almost like the same capacity as he was before. Congrats to Kyle Kuzma. Got the Puma deal. He was doing a lot of tests on sneakers and things like that. And now he's got a 5-year deal with Puma. His potential, even though he's hurt right now, his potential, not saying limitless, but he can really be a big part of this team. I think the injury is almost something as a gift for the Lakers, because he could get better and then he could come off that reserve bench role. A la James Worthy, when James Worthy first got to the Lakers. James Worthy wasn't starting, even though he was a star player. He wasn't starting. And all the time. He wasn't starting, but he's coming off the bench. Became the big superstar that he was. And we need it. We need a scoring and his. Now the projected starting lineups. I gotta talk about LeBron James possibly, most likely moving to point guard, meaning he's not gonna guard point guards, but it's going to be more of a Ben Simmons type deal. And then you got Avery Bradley, Danny Green, AD, and Dwight Howard. I give that starting lineup a B. It's a real good lineup. You know, veteran lineup, guys knowing their role. It's a real role-specific lineup, which is good. Frank Vogel as coach, you know how I feel about him. I always said Frank is a great coach. I give him a B. And the bench of McGee, Caldwell Pope, Rondo, Boogie Cousins, Alex Carusi, Bradley, Quinn Cook, and Kyle Kuzma, I give it a B+. There's a lot of great players on this bench that could be interchangeable and come in and produce. As a record, I say they're going to win 53 games and 29 losses. They're going to the playoffs this season, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying they're going to win the championship, but that's something else I got to talk about. But this team is prime and ready. This team is on the verge. As they get better during the year, you will see this team evolve into something. To what? I don't know. All I can say is it's going to be a wild ride. This is Pretty Boy Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers, NBA preview.